have it so you can text me when you become available.
Your phone number? I can just have the staff let you know by the email that you put down when you signed up, you know? There's no need for you to hand out your personal number to me.
Oh, no, I insist. This will make it easier for you to communicate in the future as well. I mean, what if there's a day that you can't make it, or I can't make it to the scheduled time? It will be a pain to have to go through emailing staff all the time if that were the case.
Okay, well, if you're sure, then I'll message you on your personal phone. I'll block off the slot just like I said and then give you a text when you're able to join. But the person who is quitting comes in on Tuesdays. Will that work for you? Like I said, maybe something else will open up, but even then I can't guarantee any particular days or times.
Don't worry. The Tuesday will be fine for me. I will make it work. So you can just block it off for me.
Okay, sure. Then was there anything else, or was that all you needed?
There is one more thing, actually. You just said that you're finishing up your shift, right? Do you want to come and grab a coffee with me when you're done? I was just going to go to this cafe that I really like.
Coffee? It's already 5 p.m. Are you really gonna go get coffee now?
I always drink coffee around this time. It still doesn't affect my sleep and I love it. But for you, it doesn't have to be a coffee. They have lots of other drinks. It's one of those places that's a cafe during the day and then turns into a bar at night. I'm sure that they will have something that you will like.
I guess that works for me. Just give me 5 minutes or so to finish up here, okay?
Sure, no rush. I will wait for you outside.
Okay, thanks. I'll be right out.
There you are! Finally! Why are you keeping me waiting?
Oh, sorry. I had to talk to some clients about some random stuff after work, and then when I was coming here, I got caught in traffic. Finding a place to park here was a nightmare as well. Did everyone just decide to come out to the same place tonight? It's unreal.
That's okay. I was just joking. I wasn't really waiting for too long. I got here a little later than I thought as well because of the traffic. We can still make it in time for the reservation though, right? What time was it for again?
We're really close to being late, but it's not too far from here. It was for 7:45. Let's get going. I don't want them to turn us away. I know that you wanted to go here for a while, and it was pretty hard to get the reservation.
I'm so excited! Ever since I saw someone make a video about this place, I have been simply dying to eat there.
I know, you've told me. That's why I try to get us here. They are really fully booked almost all of the time. I guess that video that you saw really made a big splash with people and sent them all there.
Well, who wouldn't want to eat the best pasta in town? All of the videos look amazing, and the reviews all make it sound really good as well. And they have that huge melty cheese thing! You know what I mean, right? We have to try it. It looked so good. I've never had it before, but I can almost imagine how amazing it must be.
I think it's called a raclette. I'm not super sure though. But yeah, we can have whatever you like.
Who would have thought that we would be going out to dinner like this just a few months after I happened to walk into your gym?
Well, it's not my gym, you know? I just work there.
I know that, but you know what I mean when I say that.
I know, I'm just being dumb. But you're right, I have trained so many people over the years, and I never thought that I would ever end up in a relationship with one of them.
That's because no one you trained before has been anything like me. There's a reason that no one this great came your way before. The universe was making you wait until I showed up.
You're right about that, and I'm glad that I had to wait. It was all worth it.
Does that mean that I should stop training with you now, though? Since we are together?
No, why? I don't see why that would have to happen.
I mean, wouldn't it be a bit weird for you to be training your girlfriend? Or maybe there was some kind of rule against it. It might make things awkward for others.
Oh, maybe you're just getting sick of me and want to find another trainer? Is that it?
Of course it isn't. I would never get sick of you.
I'm just kidding. But to be honest, I hadn't thought about it like that before. I guess it was fine when we had just started seeing each other, but now that we're in a proper relationship, it might be a little bit different. You might be right about this. It may make others feel a little awkward even if we're just training. I'll have to look into it.
I thought that might be the case. Then I guess I have to find another trainer. I don't want to do that, though. You've always been the best.
That's because I'm the only trainer that you've ever had. Or was that just a front?
No, that was true. But that's not why you're the best. You know me really well now, so I don't want to have to find someone else and explain everything to them again. I feel like it will mess with my progress. And I have been doing so well recently that I really don't want that to happen.
Don't worry about it, it'll be fine. You won't have to find anyone else. I can still train you.
What? But didn't you just say that I was right and that things are different now that we're in a proper relationship? How are you still going to train me then?
Things are different, but that doesn't mean we have to just call it quits. I think the best thing to do would be just to have you come after my working hours are over, and then I can just train you as a regular gym goer type of thing. I won't be on the clock, but I'll still have access to the gym, and obviously you do too since you're a member. I don't think anyone can have any complaints if we're just training together in our own time. Couples do that all the time, you know?
Oh, that's a good idea. Doing things that way should make everything good and proper then, right?
Yeah, I think that is only one change that we'll have to make. And besides, it's not like I'm going to be charging you either. You can downgrade your membership to just regular entry, or some of the classes if you still want. But you won't have to pay any extra for one-on-one sessions anymore. This way, I also get an extra slot for a regular client as well.
So it's a win-win for both of us, really.
That's exactly right. The only thing is that you'll have to change the time that you come to be a little later. Would that work for you?
Yeah, that won't be a problem. My job is pretty flexible like that. As long as I work a certain number of hours a day, I don't have to be working at set times.
That's a pretty nice way to work. I'm almost jealous that I don't have a job like that.
Well, don't be. If you did have a job like that, then we never would have met in the first place.
I suppose you're right. Anyway, this is the place. Let's go in and hope they haven't canceled our reservation. And then we can get that cheese thing you wanted so much.
Hey, can I talk to you for a second? There's been something on my mind. Nothing bad, so don't worry. I see that sudden scared expression on your face. I just wanted to bring something up that we talked about a little while ago.
God, you're scaring me saying that. You know the whole, we need to talk thing scares the hell out of everyone.
Sorry, I didn't even think about that. It wasn't meant to sound like that.
Okay, so then, what was it that you wanted to bring up? Did I forget to do something? I don't think there was anything that I was supposed to do.
No, it's nothing like that. But do you remember when I mentioned that I wanted you to meet my dad?
Oh, yeah, of course I remember. You said that he lives a little while away, so it's not the easiest to find time to go and see him.
Yeah, that's right. But I still wanted you to meet him. Anyway, so since we have been together for quite some time now and I have moved in with you too, I thought it was about time you met him. There's something that feels a little strange to me when I talk to him about you, but he hasn't even met you yet. What do you think about that? Would you be okay with meeting him finally?
Of course, I agree that I should meet him as well. And you've met both of my parents already too, so it just makes sense. On top of that, if he knows that you're with someone, I don't want him to think badly of me just because we haven't met up yet.
Okay, that's good to hear. Well, my dad and I spoke about that recently, and he invited us over for dinner next week. I was thinking about inviting him over to ours, but I think it's actually better that we go there. It's easier for us to drive around since we're young. Plus, our place isn't exactly super big to be having anyone over. It just seemed better all around for us to make the drive and go to him.
Yeah, that sounds fine to me. There shouldn't be a problem with that. And you're right that the space that we have here is a little small for 3 people. It wouldn't be that comfortable to have him over to eat dinner with us here. So, when next week? Did you guys set a time and date already, or are you still thinking about it?
We did have a time and date in mind already, actually. We were thinking on Wednesday at around 7 p.m. It takes about an hour or so to get there, so we would have to leave at 6 at the latest.
Next Wednesday at 7? That's not really gonna work for me, you know? I have evening classes that day. Can't we push it back in time or maybe switch it to Thursday? I finish work earlier that day, so it would work better for me.
Sorry, but when I said we were thinking about it, I actually meant that we had already decided. So, no, we can't change it because I already told him that we would be there on that day.
Really? It's already locked in like that? Why didn't you just ask me if it was fine before you agreed to it? You should have checked to see if I was free.
I didn't think there would be a problem. I am trying to introduce you to my dad here. You should try to be a little more flexible when it comes to things like this. It's important to me that you meet him. And like you said yourself, I have already met your parents and made the effort to see them. Why can't you do the same for me to meet my dad?
I can't help it. You know that my job has set times unlike yours. I can't just decide to not come in at a certain time or on a certain day. It's not like I just have some other random plans with friends or anything like that. Work is work, you know?
But this is a special occasion. Can't you do something about it just this once? Ask for a day off or get someone who is off to cover for you that day. I don't know what your options are, but this is really important to me.
Well, I suppose I can ask if there's another trainer who would be willing to swap the early shift for the later one. That sort of thing is technically possible, but it's not really something that happens that often. Probably it's only happened once or twice since I started here.
But it is possible, isn't it? So you will make it happen, right? For me,
I'll do what I can, but there has to be someone else who says yes to trade spots with me. It all depends on whether they agree to it or not. If they don't, then there's really nothing that I can do. If you gave me more notice, then it would have been easier. But less than a week in advance is too difficult to swing.
just tell your colleagues what the occasion is and how important it is for both you and me, and I am sure that people will understand. You're not just asking for a day off to hang out with friends or to relax. This is something more than that.
Yeah, you're probably right. Everyone I work with is pretty understanding. They should be okay with it if I explain the reason to them. Okay, then I guess it's safe for you to more or less consider it done. I will be there to meet your dad.
Good, thank you. Like I said, this is really important to me. The two most important men in my life can finally meet. My dad and I have always been really close ever since I was little. I told you before that he raised me all on his own, didn't I?
Yeah, you mentioned something like that. Your mom left you two when you were really young, was it?
Yeah, she left and ran off with some other guy to another state or another country. We never heard from her again. Good riddance, I say. I was sad about it for a little bit when I was a teenager, but now I am glad that she isn't in my life. And I am glad that she didn't try to come back randomly years after she left. Dad raised me all on his own since I was 4 years old. We are really close, which is why this is so important to me that you two meet and get along.
That must have been really tough on him. I couldn't imagine how tough it would have been for him to raise such a young child all on his own. It's hard enough to raise a kid when there are two parents around.
It was hard on him, but he never let it show. He was always very strong for me and did his best to provide everything he could for me. It wasn't until later that he spoke to me about my mom. I was probably about 15 or so at that time. He hadn't wanted to mention it when I was too young to understand what had happened. But ever since she left, I had always been Daddy's little girl. He really did everything for me.
I'm glad that he really rose to the occasion when he had to. And it looks like he did a pretty good job of raising you since you turned into the woman that you are now. I have to thank him for that.
Oh God, please don't actually do anything like that. That would be so embarrassing. Imagine some guy coming up to you the first time that you have ever met and saying, "Thank you for raising your daughter so well." That just sounds so creepy even saying it myself.
Don't worry, I wasn't actually going to say that to him. I know how awkward a thing that would be to say to someone. Especially if you're there with us. It would make me sound like a total weirdo, and I don't want your dad to have that opinion of me. Wait a second. Actually, maybe I will keep that in the back of my pocket to make sure that you're being good. Then if you act up, I will use it against you.
Don't tease me like that. Promise me that you won't say anything like that to him.
I won't, relax. I was only kidding. I would be more embarrassed than you if I ever said that sort of thing. You don't have to worry about me saying anything along those lines. So, on Wednesday, I'm guessing we're driving since it's so far away. A cab would be pretty expensive. If I swap to the earlier shift, I'll be done by 4 p.m. I should still have enough time to come home and shower and all that, right?
Yeah, if you finish at 4, then there shouldn't be too much of a rush. As long as we leave home at around 6, we will be there on time. I can meet you at home, and then we can go together once you're ready. There's no point driving there separately.
Okay, I have no problem with that. It sounds like a plan.
I'm so happy that you will finally meet him. I wish that he lived closer so that I could see him more often. He was really upset when I moved out and came to live in the city. I think he thought that I would always be around.
I guess an hour there and an hour back isn't the easiest trip to make too often.
No, it's not ideal. I do know that I should make more of an effort to see him, but sometimes it's hard to find the time. But this is a perfect opportunity for the both of us.
When was the last time that you saw him? Has it been a while?
It must have been just around the time that I met you, I think. I don't remember exactly, but roughly around then. Once I met you, all my free time was taken up with something else, and I didn't have the time to visit my dad.
That's right. I hope he doesn't hold that too much against me.
It will be fine. I never said that you were the reason for it or anything like that. I am not that stupid. Dad! It's so good to see you again. I know it's been a while, but I have just been so busy with everything that I couldn't find the time. I really did want to visit you sooner, though.
No time for your old man anymore, huh? Did you forget who raised you?
Don't be like that. You know that I would never forget you.
I'm only joking, sweetie. I know that you're at a very busy age right now. I can't expect you to spend all your time with this old man. Well, are you going to introduce me to this young man who I've heard so much about then?
Of course. That's why we're here after all. Dad, this is my boyfriend, Liam. Liam, this is my dad, Craig.
Good evening, sir. It's a pleasure to meet you. Denise has told me so much about you. It's nice to finally be able to put a face to the name. I'm sure she has, but enough with that sir stuff. We don't need that around here. We're all equals and can be informal with each other, can't we? Sure thing. Thanks. And by the way, thank you for inviting us to dinner with you. Not a problem at all. I know that it would be a little easier on you two if I made the drive, but Denise told me there might not be enough space for 3 in your apartment. It might have been a little bit cramped, yes, but we don't mind the drive. It's not that often that we get to get out of the city either. It can be nice to go on a long drive every now and then. I can understand that just fine. Anyway, what are we all doing out here on the porch? Let's get inside and get tucked in.
Is everything already cooked and ready?
It sure is. Let's go and eat. Denise, do you mind bringing some of this stuff back into the kitchen now that we're done?
What? Why do I have to do that? I don't even live here anymore and I still have to do chores. I'm a guest, aren't I? Let Liam do it. He won't mind helping out. You don't mind, do you, Liam?
No, I don't mind. You did the cooking. The least I can do is help with some of the cleanup. Sit down. That won't be happening in my house. You're the real guest. Denise, did you forget that you used to live here? This is your home. Now do as your dad says and go clean up. I would like to talk to Liam here in private for a little bit. To me? In private? That's what I just said, isn't it?
Okay, fine, Dad. I will clean up after you. But play nice, okay?
Of course I will. Now you go off. What is it that you wanted to talk to me in private about? I hope that I didn't do anything to offend you or anything of the sort. No, it's not anything like that. Let's just go into the next room for now. She can probably still hear us from the kitchen if we stay here. So, Denise tells me that you're in the fitness industry. I mean, I can see that just by looking at you. That's right, I'm a personal trainer. That's actually how Denise and I met in the first place. She came to my gym and signed up for some of the classes that I was teaching. Then things kind of went from there. Yes, she said something like that. This world is full of these kinds of coincidences, don't you think? It sure is, and this was a very happy coincidence for the both of us. There is actually another gym just down the road from mine, and she could have just easily ended up there and we would have never met. So, when you say my gym, do you mean that you own the place? Oh, no, sorry, that's not what I meant. Unfortunately, I am not the owner. I just meant it as the gym where I work. I see. So, you're a personal trainer working for someone else's gym then, is that right? That's the kind of work you do? Yeah, that's right. Is there some sort of problem you have with that? It's not exactly a problem per se. I just wonder how stable that sort of job is in the long term. It might be all well and good as long as you're young. You have the energy to probably work enough to make some decent money. But what happens when you start getting older and aren't as fit and healthy as you are now? Would you really be able to keep this up even then? I don't think that's really much of an issue. There are plenty of people who continue to be trainers well past their 20s and into their 50s even. Experience is an important aspect of the field, and clients like to have someone who's experienced and can help them with their goals. It's not just about being the biggest guy there. So I think it's pretty safe to say that I'll still have work even far into the future, when I'm not as young as now, as you say. Or so you might think, but what I'm worried about here is Denise. It doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence knowing that this is the sort of job that you have. What if you get injured? What if something like that happens and you can't work in that field anymore? Do you have any other sort of backup plan in case that happens for you? With all due respect, I don't see any problem with my profession. If anything, there are more and more people seeking out trainers these days than ever before to get in shape and lead a healthier life. And in the unlikely event that I do get injured, I don't think there will be a problem there either. And why is that? You do have some sort of plan then to account for that, I assume. It's not directly to account for being injured, but yes, I do. I haven't spoken to outwardly about this because I don't like to talk about things too early, but I'm planning on starting my own gym in the future. It is something that I've been saving for, and using what I learn at an established gym will make things smoother for me when I decide to set out on my own. If I were to get injured then, I wouldn't have to necessarily train people myself, but could manage the running of the business regardless of any injury. That sounds even worse to me. So you're gonna leave a job with at the very least a guaranteed salary to try and make it on your own? And what happens if the gym fails and you're left with nothing? Worse than nothing, most likely. You'll probably be up to your ears in debt by that point. Going out into the depths of business can be riskier than just relying on working for someone else who is already established. Well, I can't speak too much about a hypothetical like that, but I guess the main thing will be to make sure that it never gets to that point. And I am fairly confident that I will be successful once I do start my own gym. And where exactly does that confidence come from? Where is the proof that you will succeed? Young people are always so sure that they will not fail, but then most of them do. Almost all of them. I'm aware that a lot of new businesses close very soon after opening, and I also can't give you any proof that I will be successful, but I just know that things will be fine for me. I've worked in various gyms for quite a few years now, observing the management systems and different services they offer. I've been in places that range from athlete-only establishments to the more general commercial gyms that are scattered all over the place. There's one big difference watching someone do something and then doing it on your own. That is especially true these days with the economy being what it is. I just don't want to see my daughter have to suffer because her man decided to let his ego dictate his decision-making for the future. You got that? I can understand that, but I know that this won't be a problem either for me or Denise.
Hey boys, are you done sharing secrets yet? I finished cleaning up and I am getting bored sitting here on my own.
Just about done, honey. I'm sorry to have held you two up as long as I already have. Thanks so much for taking the time to make it out all this way to visit your old man. It was a pleasure.
It was good to see you, Dad. I promise that I will come by more often from now on.
Thanks for hosting us, Craig. But you're right, we had better be on our way. We have a long drive ahead of us.
I can't believe that we have to drive back home an entire hour now. I wish it wasn't so far away.
It is a long way, but at least you're not the one driving. You can sit back and relax while I focus on the road.
I know, thank God for that. I think I might end up falling asleep. I am so full, and I am about to fall into a food coma. I couldn't imagine having to drive home right now. I am so glad that I don't have to drive too far to work or anywhere else normally.
You can go ahead and do that. I'll wake you up when we're almost home.
I will gladly have a nap. Before I do that, though, how was everything? Did you and my dad get along? Everything seemed like it was good, but I was kind of surprised when he asked to speak to you on your own. And he made me do the dishes. What were the two of you whispering about so secretively while I was washing up?
Like you said, everything seemed to have been going pretty well, I think. I mean, your dad obviously loves you and cares about you a lot.
But I just know that there is a but coming up. What happened with you two?
You're right, there is a but. It's about what he said to me when he wanted to speak to me alone. He started talking about my job, saying how it wasn't sustainable or stable or whatever.
What is that supposed to mean? Does he think that you're going to get fired tomorrow or something?
No, it seemed more like he was thinking in the long term. Like he asked me what I was going to do when I was older and not as fit as I am now. I guess that he thinks people have to be young to be personal trainers, but that just isn't true. Even when I told him that I wanted to start my own gym in the future, he had nothing but negative things to say. He just seems to be sure that I'll fail, and it's a huge risk that will get you involved as well. The gist of it is that he's not happy that you're dating someone who works in the fitness industry.
What? But I told him that that was how I met you in the first place. I never would have even met you otherwise if you were doing something else than you are doing now. Did he forget that or something? I know for sure that I told him.
No, he didn't forget that. He mentioned to me that you told him that, but he's worried about you financially, I suppose. I can't say that I don't understand where he's coming from at all, but I didn't really appreciate the way that he went about saying it to me. I think I do just fine, and I'm sure that my own gym will be successful.
Why is he worrying about me financially? I am doing just fine as it is.
I think he's thinking from the point of view that I have to be making enough money to support the both of us.
I see. But that still doesn't concern him at all. That's our issue. Don't worry about what he says that much. He is just trying to look out for me in his own weird way. I told you that he raised me on his own. Well, we didn't have a whole lot of money when I was growing up. There were always things that we had to sacrifice, and in the end, I was barely able to make it into college. I think he just doesn't want me to have to go through financial instability again. That's most likely where he is coming from. In fact, I'm positive it is. I don't think that he actually has anything against you or your job itself.
I think you're right. It did seem that way, but he was kind of aggressive about it. I understand having some anxieties about your future, but he has no reason to doubt me. I know that I will always be there to look after and provide for you.
And I also work anyway. This isn't the era where the man is doing all the work. It's not all on you.
I know that, but I'm just saying that I will still do everything I can to make sure that we're secure. If we both do our best with that, then there is nothing for either of us to worry about.
Try not to think about it too much. He's just being overprotective. In the end, who I am with is my choice, and my choice alone. I told you that I have always been Daddy's little girl. Even though I have grown up, he struggles to see me as anything but that. But I am about to pass out into a food coma. Just don't let it get to you, okay?
Okay, I won't. Thanks. Now have a nap and I'll wake you up when we're nearly home.
Oh, this is such a wonderful day! When Liam first introduced us to you a while back, I was hoping that you would be the one who he finally pops the question to. And it seems like that prayer has been answered. He's so lucky to have found a girl like you. And we're lucky to soon have you in our family as well.
Cut it out, dear. You're gonna embarrass the both of them. But congratulations really are in order for the two of you. I'm very happy to finally see our son getting engaged.
And you can't even imagine how happy I am. All this started just because I walked into that gym one day. It's like a modern fairy tale if you think about it. I mean, then there was the fact that I pushed to have Liam be my instructor, but that is neither here nor there. I am sure that we would have ended up together in the end no matter what.
Wait, what? That was on purpose? You sneaky girl. Here I thought that this was just a coincidence. A happy one, but a coincidence. But you were scheming all along.
I wouldn't say that. At first, when I was in your group class, it really was a coincidence. But then when I asked you to be my personal trainer, I waited that month until you had an opening, remember?
Of course I remember that. You were very insistent on having me be your trainer.
Well, at that point, I already had my eye on you. That's why I waited and asked you out for coffee.
And I am glad that you did. I would never have thought that I had a chance with you.
God, men are so clueless about these things. They never pick up on any signs that we put out there, do they, Denise?
If you women were clearer about things, then it would all be much easier for everyone involved. Okay, let's cut that out already. We don't need to get into this. Let's just say that everything worked out well for us.
You're right, and we should all be very happy about that. So now that you're engaged, who else have you told? Denise, your parents must know at least, right? Well, I did tell my dad about it, yes.
You don't sound so happy saying that. Did something happen? He wasn't too happy about the news by the sound of things. Not happy at all.
What? Really? Why not? How could he be anything but over the moon about this? Dad's a bit of a funny one. He's very protective of me, I guess.
He's not happy with my line of work. He thinks that I won't be able to provide for Denise and that it's not a sustainable field for me to be working in. He said that to me himself the first time that we met. I didn't think that it was too serious, but I guess it was in the end. That is nonsense. And Denise, you're working too, are you?
Yes, of course I am. I have a full-time job.
That's what I thought. Single-income families are pretty much of a thing of the past. I don't see the reason to be worried. Neither do I, but that's how he feels about it. He's felt like that ever since we first met.
But I am sure he will come around to the idea. I guess it's not unusual to have some hang-ups. Some parents just don't know how to let their child go out on their own. I am sure that this is even more true for someone who raised their child on their own.
Yeah, and I can totally understand that sort of thing as well. But it's a little more than just that, I think. Denise, tell them what he said about the wedding. What did he say?
He kind of said that he won't be coming.
What? That is unbelievable. He won't come just because he's not fully on board with Liam's job?
It really is. How can he not see his own daughter get married?
That wasn't all he said. Denise, tell them what he said about that.
He said that he wouldn't come to the wedding because he refused to walk his daughter down the aisle and hand her over to someone like Liam who will be broken in debt 5 years into the future. How horrible! How can he say something like that? Liam is and has always been very financially savvy. I don't know where he is getting these kinds of ideas from. I know, he's being very unreasonable right now. But I am trying to get him to change his mind. He is just so hung up about me not going through any financial issues because of the way our family was when I was growing up. He still sees me as his little girl and doesn't want to admit that I have grown up. Of course, I am still his little girl in many ways, but he is being a bit too much this time.
It's gonna be a bit of an awkward wedding if the father of the bride refuses to show up. People will be asking a lot of questions. I don't really want that to happen if we can avoid it. It would be much better if he came.
Don't worry. I am talking to him and I am sure that he will come in the end. I will change his mind. He's being stubborn, but that's just because he only recently heard the news. We still have a lot of time before the wedding, and by that time, he will have come to terms with it and he will show up. Just leave it to me.
There's not much else I can do with something like this. Okay, but setting that issue aside, have you two discussed when the wedding might be?
Not in great detail, but we hope to do it this year.
Yeah, we really think the sooner the better, and we're not trying to have a huge one or anything. Just very close friends and family to celebrate with us. Since that's the case, the planning and organizing should be easier and faster.
Good. That sounds like a good idea to me. People make too much fuss out of weddings these days. Of course it's a special day, but there's no need to bankrupt yourself by throwing a huge party for people you barely speak to, or to fly out to some island either. A small, classic wedding will be the best thing.
Be sure to let us know if there's anything that we can do to help with as well. We're always happy to help. Thanks, Dad. I think we should be okay, but I'll keep that offer in mind. So, this is the kind of place my daughter's future husband works at, hey? Smells like sweat and dirty towels in here. Couldn't you open a window or two to let some fresh air in here? I'll probably walk out smelling the same just from stepping foot in here for a few minutes. Craig, what are you doing here? What? Are you not happy to see your future father-in-law? Am I not allowed to be in here? Oh, no, it's nothing like that. I just never expected to see you here. How did you even know that this is where I work? I don't think that I ever mentioned the name of the gym where I'm employed. And why shouldn't I show up? Denise told me some time ago that this was the name of the gym where she goes. Since she met you here, I figured it must be where you work as well. It doesn't take a genius to work out something that simple now, does it? Yes, oh well, that makes sense. But what are you doing here anyway? I wanted to see the kind of place where you work at. You know that I'm not too happy about you marrying Denise, but she's been trying to tell me that you work at a good gym. Whatever that might mean. I thought I would take a look for myself, but I can't see anything good about this place. It reeks in here. Well, there are a bunch of people here exercising and working up a sweat. It's just the nature of the place. But I'm afraid I'm really busy right now, and I'm in between classes, but they'll start up soon. What? You're too busy to speak with me? You should make some more time. I'm your father-in-law. At least I might be, against my will, of course. I had no idea that you were going to show up, and I can't shift anything to make time. If you wanted to speak to me about something, then it would have been better to give me a text and organize a specific time. But see all those people, the group against the wall? They're looking over here because I'm their trainer and they're waiting for me. Look at all those women. Almost the entire class is women then, is it? I guess so. Women are more likely to take group classes than men are. And so what? Are you sleeping with any of them, huh? Which ones? How many of them? Excuse me? I'm not sleeping with any of them. That's a very disrespectful thing for you to say. Both to me and to my students. I am a professional and I'm only here to train them. That is it. I don't want to be rude, Craig, but never say that to me again. It is not appropriate and it's not true either. I would never do something like that. You would never do anything like that, huh? Did you forget that's how you met Denise? Because I didn't. That is something different. Yeah, we kind of met like that, but she's different. And I wasn't engaged or seeing anyone back then anyway. I have to go. If there's something you actually need to talk to me about, then text me and we can meet or something. I don't know why you drove all the way here just for this though. I can do whatever I want with my time and you have no right to tell me otherwise. But off you go if you're so busy. I'll see myself out. Hey, I need to talk to you for a second. You won't believe what happened today. It was the weirdest thing. Yeah, something like that. I came at one of my group classes, right? And your dad was there.
Why? What do you mean my dad was there? He was where?
He was in the gym. He was waiting for me, I guess.
Okay, that's pretty strange. And what was he there for? Did you talk to him?
Yeah, of course I did. He was basically there just to complain to me, though. He was saying that he was unhappy about the marriage and just generally complaining about the way that the gym looked and smelled. What did he expect a gym to smell like? Of course there is going to be some smell of sweat. It's a gym.
God, I'm sorry about that, Liam. I never thought he would do something like that. Did he really just go all the way over there to complain? Why would he waste his time driving an hour here and back just for that? That seems like the biggest waste of time ever.
That's what I said, but he just told me that it was his time and he could do whatever he wanted with it. That I have no right to tell him how he uses his time. I mean, I guess he has a point, but he could still use it in a better way, I think.
Yeah, even my dad should have better things to do with his time than that. How did he even know where you worked?
I guess at some point you told him what gym you were going to and he knew that we met there. So he just assumed from that and showed up out of the blue.
Oh, damn. I didn't even think of that. I didn't mean to let him know where you were working. I mean, it's not like I was trying to hide it, but I never thought to say, "Hey, Dad, Liam works here."
I know, that's okay. I know that it's not your fault. It wouldn't even have been strange for you to tell him where I did work. I couldn't believe my eyes when I came out to the main floor.
Yeah, even I would have been surprised if he was there on a day that I am. And so that's all he said?
Well, he said something about wanting to see where his future son-in-law was working because you said it was a good gym.
Well, yeah, I did say that, and it is a good gym.
He didn't seem to think so for whatever reason. I don't know what he was talking about. Nothing that he was saying really made a whole lot of sense to me, especially since I was so shocked to see him in the first place. But that wasn't even the worst of it.
It wasn't? What else did he say then?
So, since I was in the middle of my working day, I had another group class after that, right? And I kind of pointed them out and told him that I didn't have time to talk to him because of all those people who were waiting for me. If he wanted to talk to me properly, then it would have been better for him to send me a text and meet up sometime. Not that I think he would really want that. Anyway, he then mentioned how a lot of the members of the class were women. And then he accused me of sleeping with some of them. Can you believe that?
What? He really said that to you?
Yeah, he did. And of course I told him that that was crazy and that I would never do something like that. But he just pointed out to me that that was how the two of us met and then left. I was so shocked. I could barely concentrate in the class after that.
Right. Well, to be honest, maybe he does kind of have a point.
What do you mean he has a point? In what way? How does he have some sort of point?
Well, I mean, the two of us did meet when you were my trainer, and most of those classes do have a high percentage of women in them. It was like that when I was there, and I am sure that it hasn't changed much even now.
Okay, that is true. A lot of women do come to our gym. That's the same as anywhere. But what's your point? What does that have to do with anything?
I mean, maybe it would be better if you didn't train women anymore. Maybe just move to being a male-only trainer.
Are you being serious right now? Do you actually think that I am sleeping with any of them?
No, of course not. And I didn't say that you were doing that. But thinking about it, that was how we met, and I made a move on you because I thought you were attractive. I'm sure that there are lots of other people who would think the same, and then what if they do something similar to what I did? It's not like there is a 0 chance of that happening.
I don't think that is going to happen, and even if it did, so what? Even if there was someone who made a move on me, it's not like I'm going to reciprocate it. Just because someone else makes a move doesn't mean that I have to say yes to them, and I wouldn't. I would turn them down and then maybe ask them to move to another class or time.
You would maybe ask to move them to another class? Why only maybe?
Oh, come on. What is up with these types of questions? It's because I don't actually know if I can ask you to do something like that. It might not actually fit under any sort of policy. I don't think anything like that has happened before.
Okay, but listen, I think I would be more comfortable knowing that there isn't even the chance of that sort of thing happening. I hadn't actually thought about it before now, but if you say that it would never happen, that's not really the case because it has happened before.
Yeah, once. With you. And I wasn't seeing anyone at that time, let alone engaged to anyone. Can you see that this is an entirely different sort of scenario? Why is this such a big deal now if you've never thought about it before?
I don't know! It might be a little different, but it would be better for me if you stopped training other women. I know how close personal trainers can get sometimes.
But that's completely on a professional basis. It is not at all sexual or coming with any other meaning.
Even if that's the case, Can you just stop training other women? Is that so much for me to ask of you?
Yes, actually. Is it too much to ask? Do you know how many of the people who I train are women? I can't just cut my base of clients in half or worse. And this applies to not only the people that I train now, but also to anyone who would want to sign up in the future.
Why are you so against this? Maybe you really are sleeping with some of them? I just don't see why you would be getting so defensive about it otherwise.
Are you out of your mind? How can you even say that to me? I'm against that because it would be the worst financial decision that could possibly be made in this industry. Women are far more likely to sign up to group classes. Men usually work out on their own, or they just do one-on-one personal training. And I am defensive about it because you are basically coming at me, accusing me of something that I've never and would never do.
So why not just focus on personal training then? What's so important about having group classes as well?
Because there are only so many hours in a day that I can do that. And that's only one client per session, where a group could be up to 15 at a time. That is a huge difference there.
Yeah, but people also pay more for the one-on-one stuff than the group classes.
Yeah, they sure do, but it still doesn't equate to the amount that you can make from a group class. 15 people paying for the same 1 hour of your time is very different to only one person paying a little bit more for that same hour. Ah, this is ridiculous, Denise. I can't believe you're taking your dad's side on this.
I just thought that it would be reasonable to ask you. You obviously aren't okay with it, so I am not going to force you to change anything. But I do want to say that I am a little unhappy about how reluctant you are to stop training women.
It has everything to do with the economics of it and not wanting to cut my client base in half. It just doesn't make any sense. Listen to me, I am not interested in anyone else but you. We are engaged, for God's sake. I really don't like that you're accusing me of something like this for absolutely no reason.
Okay, I believe you. Relax already. You look like you're going to pop a vein or something. I'm telling you that I am not that happy about it, and there is something that you could do to make me feel better. But let's just leave it at that. Dad, do you have a bit of time to talk to me? There's something that I am worried about.
Of course, I always have time for you. What's going on?
I was talking to Liam last night, and he told me that you showed up to his work yesterday.
Of course he ran straight to you to complain about it. But yes, I did. And before you start getting angry at me for it, just know that I was well within my rights to do so. As your father, I should know where your future husband is working and what kinds of things he's doing. And let me tell you that I wasn't very happy about it. Your fiancé is constantly surrounded by women wearing incredibly tight clothing. I pointed it out to him and he got kind of angry at me. I can't believe he would even talk to me like that.
I know about all of that. He told me about it too later that night. But I am not going to get angry at you about it. Actually, I agree with you. I started feeling quite uncomfortable about the fact that he is training so many other women. I mean, there is the fact that we got together through those sorts of classes. Who is to say that it wouldn't happen again? He told me not to worry about it, but I can't help but worry about it.
I think you're right to be suspicious. I told him that too, and that was the point that he seemed to get very defensive about something.
I also told him that he should actually stop training other women and just stick to training men only. He got really frustrated with me and just flat out refused to even think about the idea. He couldn't even try to see where I was coming from. He just kept talking about how it would hurt the number of clients if he did that and blah, blah, blah. I don't think I am asking for too much. Why wouldn't he want to put my mind at ease? And it's not like I am asking him to stop being a trainer completely either. I think he must actually be cheating on me with one of those women. Why else would he get so upset when I asked him to cut them out of his schedule?
You're exactly right. I thought there was something fishy as soon as I walked into his gym, and he pointed out to me who was waiting for him to start a class. I knew all along I was right when I thought he wasn't good enough for you. He must be doing something wrong and trying to hide it.
What am I supposed to do then? We were supposed to get married. We just got engaged a little while ago. This is the worst feeling I could ever imagine. I don't even have any proof that he is doing anything, but he must be. He said that he would never do something like that to me, but I just can't believe him. If he was serious about that, then he would have just done what I asked him to do.
We might not have proof now, but leave it to me and I will find it.
How are you going to do something like that?
I'm just gonna keep a very close eye on him and see what he does. There is no way that we can let him get away with this. We are gonna expose him and make sure that everyone knows what kind of person he is. Just leave it to me. I'll take care of everything for you.
Thanks, Dad. I know that I can always rely on you.
Of course you can. That's what I'm here for. Now, I'll let you know when I find something out. Try not to make him suspicious, though.
I won't mention it again so that he thinks that I forgot about it.
Good girl. Okay, leave it all to me. Hey, something really weird has been going on recently. I feel like I'm going crazy. These whole past 2 weeks have just been so confusing for me, and I'm not sure what it's all about.
What are you talking about? What's been going on that's so weird?
I could just swear that I keep seeing your dad everywhere. Almost everywhere I go, whether it's work or to the store or wherever. It just feels like he's right there. It's been like that ever since he paid me a visit at work a few weeks back.
Oh, come on. Now you're just being delusional. There's no way in hell that that is going on. Why do you even think that's the case?
I don't know though. I would have thought that there was no chance of it if he had never showed up at my work. But since he did it once, what is to stop him from doing it again?
And what would he be doing there again? What purpose would there be for him to show up again?
That's what I have no idea about. It just doesn't make any sense, but I can't shake the feeling like he's watching me or something.
So you think that he just drives out here over an hour to follow you around? You seriously must be losing your mind. Are you sure you're getting enough sleep? Maybe you have been working too much recently.
No, I have the same schedule as always. It's not like I'm working more than normal, and my sleep is just fine as well. You know that I usually sleep very well. I don't know why he would be driving here just for that, but it's just a weird feeling right now. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it feels wrong.
So have you actually seen him? You say that you feel like he is watching you, but you've never actually seen him, right? Otherwise, you would know for sure that he is there and it wouldn't be just a feeling.
Yeah, you're right that I haven't seen him, but sometimes I think that I see him out of the corner of my eye or something. But then when I look again, there's no one there, or just another older guy.
See? You're just imagining it. Maybe you just got so upset over what he said to you last time that you can't get him out of your head. And because of that, you just think that you're seeing him even though he's not there. That's what it sounds like to me. You see any random old man as being my dad, but then when you actually look closer, you realize that it really is just a random old man and not my dad at all.
I guess it could be that. I suppose it makes no sense that he would be here after all. It really has been weird for me though. I can seriously feel like someone is watching me.
Hey, you're starting to get paranoid for no reason. My dad isn't a stalker or anything. I know that the two of you might not get along together super well, but there's a difference between that and him deciding to stalk you one day. Just try to not worry about it and take some more time to relax, and I am sure that you will stop feeling that he is there soon enough.
You must be right. I'll try to get him out of my head for now. Thanks. What the hell, Denise? I was totally right about everything.
What? What? Why are you yelling at me? What are you talking about?
Your dad was following me around. I knew that something was wrong. You lied about it to me too.
You know that he wasn't doing that. You're just being paranoid. I told you that there was no chance he would do that.
And that was a lie. I'm not being paranoid. I caught him today. I was stopping off at the supermarket today after work, and I caught him.
Wait, what? You caught him? You actually saw him for real? Then maybe this was the one time that he just happened to actually be there. He might live far, but it's not like he never comes to the city himself.
That wasn't it at all. Stop trying to cover your tracks. I didn't just see him. He tried to run away, but I caught up to him and demanded that he explain to me what was going on. and he had the nerve to get angry at me in turn. He said that you asked him to follow me around because the two of you think that I'm cheating on you for some reason. What the hell is wrong with you? You literally got your dad to tail me?
Fine, you got me. I did know about it. But what else was there that I could do?
Literally anything but that. Why did you need to do anything at all? There was no need for that.
Because I was sure that you were cheating on me and I needed to find proof somehow.
Why would you even think that in the first place? There is no reason for you to do that.
I asked you to stop training other women and you refused. And you got so defensive about it, and Dad said the same thing happened when he talked to you about it. Why else would you get so defensive about it if there was no truth in what I said? You would just do what I asked you to do. Anyone else would do that.
I explained to you why I can't just do that. It doesn't make any sense from a business point of view. I seriously don't believe that you would jump to a stupid conclusion like this for no reason. And not only do you not trust me, and then you get your dad to stalk me and think that I'm losing my mind? I seriously thought I was getting paranoid there for a while, especially after I talked to you about it and that's what you told me. You tried to actually gaslight me into thinking I was going crazy when I was completely in the right. What is wrong with you?
Just stop yelling at me! I told you that I wasn't happy with the idea of you training women anymore, and you ignored me. Why didn't you just think about how that sort of thing must make me feel? It's at the point where I had to ask my dad to do something like that. Can't you see how worried I am about it? Just stop and everything can be normal again.
I have been doing this for years, and even after we started dating, I continued to do it. This isn't something reasonable for you to ask me to do, even if you have some sort of issue with it now. You didn't have any problem with it until your dad started making some stupid and insane comments about me sleeping with some of my clients. And it is not like he had any reason to say that. He just did it because he doesn't like me or what I do and wanted to stir up trouble.
Don't talk about my dad like that. He was just trying to look out for me. I think he did the right thing. He wanted to make sure that you weren't cheating on me.
You mean that he was hoping to catch me so that I wouldn't have to become his son-in-law, right? He's trying to ruin our relationship, and you're just sitting back and letting him do it.
He's not doing that. He was just looking out